I love it.
All right. Welcome, everybody. I'm Julie. I am pleased to be the president of Oregon Christian Writers. At this point in time, I have an amazing board behind me. Thank you so much, as well as a team and a ton of volunteers who worked so hard on this summer conference. We have a decision to make about next year. I know you guys are rumblings that Canby Grove was not available next year. That hasn't changed. So we're going to take a vote, and we're going to do it via clap. Now, if you're not a writer here, you're here with your spouse, you're here with your person to get the reward, you vote however your person votes, okay? Because I don't want you to get in trouble when you get home. So consult with them now. But the choices are, number one, Canby Grove. Number two, another retreat center that might be a bit larger. A hotel type environment would be number three. And you don't know or you don't care is number four, okay? So number one, clap if you would like to be back in Canby Grove. Wow, that's pretty good. I don't know if that one can be beat. Okay, how about another retreat center instead? It's a little farther out and a little larger.
Well, that settles that.
I did not expect that. The board is hearing your wishes. Okay. And number three, more of a hotel. We had it at the Red Lion Inn many years ago, and everything was on one place, so it's super easy to get to, all compacted. I've also heard from people this weekend it was a little more formal, and they kind of enjoyed it more casual. So is there anybody that'd be interested in meeting in a hotel-type environment? Now is your turn to clap. All right, and how many of you really don't care what we meet as long as we're together? All right. We have a winner. Your board has heard you. Thank you. We will always be here to hear you. I hope that you know that and you've learned that. I would like to acknowledge my board members as well as our board advisors. So if you could please stand if you're a board member. Thank you. Now everybody is here, and where is Jesse? Uh-oh. You got caught. All right. This is our board advisor who's been advising us on technical issues, online stuff, so he's been a big help with all. I want to thank my board members. You guys are amazing, and I'm again very privileged to be in this position to help lead us, into really the next generation for OCW and all of that means, and it's incredibly exciting what is up and coming. I want to tell a secret to you because there's a verse we have this week in Isaiah 40:34. And it has the word in it that means hope. And if you were in my magazine and anthology class, you already know this, which you're new. But I want you to know that the Hebrew and Greek original meaning of hope actually means confident expectation. So it is not the floaty feeling of, oh, we hope this happens, or I hope it doesn't rain, or I hope I get a job. It's confident expectation. And so I'm going to reread you our verse this week, because every time I see hope in the Bible, this is what I replace it with, okay? But those who have confident expectation in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. Isaiah 40:34. I'm well familiar with that verse because my mom had a wall of eagles growing up. And all the eagles, of course, have to have the plaque go on with it in that verse. So it was one that we memorized pretty good. So, a couple other things. I don't know if you remember, writers, I told you at the beginning of this conference that Satan was in a battle for this conference. We had some hospital stays, yours truly. We had some other things happen. People have trouble getting there, flat tires, we had people call out for things. And Satan was worried because he knew the big things were going to happen at this conference. And he was super worried, and he was trying to stop us. But he didn't. He didn't stop us, right? Here we are. And throughout the week, I've heard a lot of miracle stories. So you probably know where I'm going here, but I'm thinking we probably need an anthology of miracle stories and things that have happened at OCW and conferences, in addition to our cold one that we normally do every year. So send me your story if you have one, all right? We're going to work on that. And finally, I want to thank Linda Krushke. She's an amazing lady, and how many years now have you been doing this contest?
Only my third year.
Only my third year. That could be only, or that could be only. Linda works really hard on this contest, you guys, and I know she had some help this year as well. And of course, we thank our lovely judges, and she'll thank you personally. But we couldn't do it without her. There is somebody behind the scenes that has to organize these hundreds of entries, send them to the right judge, get them back, I'll make sure they're without a name, organize the score sheets, get the score sheets back to the contestant, choose the winners, get the certificates, get the location, get the desserts, which are now coming my way. And organize the whole event. So she's done an amazing job. So if we could all give Linda a round of applause.
So I do have some remarks, but we're gonna let the band get their stuff off the stage. Was kind of hoping y'all could get your desserts during that time, but they just arrived. Praise the Lord, they arrived. They're gonna be delicious. They're setting them up now. Hopefully, it won't take too long. And so I'm gonna let the band get and move some stuff, and then we will move into the rest of the evening where you all get to learn who the winners are, but of course there's stuff before that, so you have to be patient. Thank you.
Yes, I'm going to, but I'm going to watch it. Yeah, it's good because we have the live stream going, and the live stream people can watch what's happening and they're in the right place. Because otherwise they take the Okay, I'm sorry, I wasn't even sure. Oh, yeah. My phone's dying too. Right. Got very.
She was talking about bringing that podium up.
I want to stick
Side?
I want to stick my face up here.
What's that?
I want to stick my face up here and say hi to everybody.
Oh, check your face.
Right. Because we're on the live stream.
Oh, good. And they'll move that away, right? Okay, okay. Can you see your face?
I just want to stick my face up there.
Do it. You're the one in charge. Do it. That's good. I'll give you a thumbs up. You're the one doing all the work. Oh, good. Now I have a view.
Let's see if they say anything.
Are they coming on these stairs, right? Going up those stairs and down
I
these
think
stairs?
they're actually coming up here. Unless we made a change.
And then they're going up these steps or up those steps? Oh, I need an X. Yeah.
Anything, make an exit.
This?
Oh, Ash Joyce, she has tape. Okay, so our volume must be loud enough because the closed captions are coming through.
Pardon? Oh, they are?
Yeah.
You're going to put it off to the side or not? I'd have to let's try it again. think? You take a look. I think that's good. There or it's a little bit. See, it's got the mountain. Perfect. That is perfect. And I get more mountain with Joyce because she's shorter. Right, a little bit to the side, you don't get the mountain, but that works. That's better. That's somebody
Did I do okay?
You did great, but when I was taking your picture, you had the microphone right in front of your face.
I know.
So it's like you're eating the microphone.
I so much prefer, like when I go speak, I love it when they have the lapel mic.
Lapel
I like
mics.
to move around.
Yeah,
Sometimes
and
I come down the
it's not
audience.
right in your
Can't
face.
do that. Blah, blah, blah,
Because
blah,
I got
blah,
those
blah,
pictures.
yeah.
It's like,
Maybe we could look into that for next year.
yeah, those are nice.
Not that expensive.
They're not. I bought one for my daughter's wedding. And
Yeah.
it's Bluetooth speakers and it's a
Okay.
lavalier mic.
Yeah.
So you'll see how it works for the wedding.
Yeah, and especially, but especially in the larger rooms, you know, like Mountain View and stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
When's your daughter's wedding?
August 5th.
Is everything ready?
Oh, I don't know. We had a shower on Saturday.
Yeah.
And we got home at 10, and I packed, and I left half the stuff at home. By the time I got here, I had to go after Amanda Dyke's thing on Sunday. I went back up to Woodland, and my daughter met me there.
She's
And
gonna be okay.
gave me the tripod, which I
Yeah.
forgot. And
Okay,
my books that I was going to put in the bookstore, I forgot them.
Yeah,
And the
right.
posters. You know, so, anyway, yeah, so now we just have final dress alterations on the 7th. Bachelorette party on the 22nd.
Oh my word.
And then my husband's 60th class reunion on the 28th, and then the wedding. So busy. So pre-wedding life and post-wedding life.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's been a kind of summer for us too. We had my niece graduated, our daughter got her master's. There was this family reunion. It seems like every weekend is
Every, yeah.
And I'm like,
I know, my daughter graduated May 5th, so
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom. But now after she's married, they're all launched.
there you go.
I did my part. It's all up to you guys.
When the babies do, yeah.
Yeah. All done. I'll tell you about it.
Yes, go.
You have a volunteer for a time code. Yeah, that would be great. That would be really fantastic. Let me get number 5 on.
That's a cute picture, may I?
Thank you. We would like one because we never get a good one of ourselves. Now you have to send it to me.
I will. I got a zillion. I gotta catch up since Father's Day, wedding shower, all these pictures, but I'm staying home for a while now.
You are okay. You get a little bit of a break.
I have some jobs, editing jobs and things,
Yeah.
but I can go through my photos.
Yeah.
And I take a lot, you know.
All right.
I told everybody, stop for me to take pictures with this and also for me to do one with a cell phone, which is very uncomplicated. Very simple. Is oh, never mind. This man's singing classes. So he was in upper room classes, probably serenading them.
I'm letting it fill in, so I don't.
She is letting it fill in? Okay. Okay, just wondered what was going on.
It is confusing.
It is. It was confusing to Andrew, but he took it in stride.
Hey everybody, I just wanted to say I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be here to share with you guys that I've seen before, and because I have a song or two to share while you're waiting for the next event this evening. Like I said, I write, but I also write music, and I have some of my cards in the bookstore, my website. But this first song is called "Take From Me My Life As I Give It to You, and Receive From You Your Life Going Through." I come into your house once again. Take from me my life as I give it to you, and receive from you your light shining through. I come into your house once again, weighted down to empty within. But one thing I know to be true, and to you help me find refuge in you. So take from me my life as I give it to you, and receive from you your light shining through. Take from me my life as I give it to you, receive from you your light shining through. I come into this place once again, weighted down, feeling empty within. But one thing I know to be true, and to you help we find refuge in you. So take from me my life as I give it to you, and receive from you your light shining through. Take from me my life as I give it to you, and receive from you your light shining through.
The dessert tables are open. For those who have food sensitivities, they are labeled, and please go to the round table, and the rest can please go to the big square one. Thank you for your patience.
Alright, this is a song that I shared last night, but it's just called Every Good and Perfect Gift, like the verse in James. Every good and perfect gift comes down from above, from the Father of lights, from whom there is no shadow of turning. And I just am thankful for this time, for this event we've shared together, all the connections I've made, and just for all that I've learned, and thankful that I could participate in something as unique as this. So every good and perfect gift. That good perfect gift comes down from you, God above. And every good perfect gift comes down from you, God above. For every unexpected blessing come across the path when needed most, and all the words of kindness spoken touches the light along the road. We give you thanks, we lift your name, we lift your name on high. We give you thanks, we lift your name, we love your name on high. We give you thanks for benedictions that lift you up and set you free, and that joyful new beginning, even walking beside the sea. We give you thanks, we lift your name, mighty name on high. We give everything on earth you bring us. Mountains of love and jobs to do. And all the wisdom that's bestowed in us. Coming from those who know the truth.
I wonder if there's a way to switch.
Okay. Bear with, guys. I am making a change, and you won't have to look at my face too much longer. I don't think.
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to say hey.
Wish you were here. 45 people are looking at my face right now because I can't figure out how to turn it around. Settings. Ah, ha, ha, ha.
Christine and I work pretty good for each other. We were on the stage the other night, and everybody got good. Have to plan something for real next week.
I did it. I did it. Did it.
Yeah.
This is Joyce. Joyce is our tech person. Say hi, Danica. Linda, who puts the show together. Getting better and better. As, as soon as you're ready. Well, I have the live stream here though. Here's Susie Finkbeiner. She taught classes for us. Julie. Landy, who was the conference director for many years. This is Jesse. He does everything, teaches classes, works on the website. This is Nathaniel, an up-and-coming writer. What? This is the live stream.
Oh, hi, live stream.
Yeah. I didn't make them sign anything.
Okay.
Stephen O'Rear. Lisa Bogart. This is Tabitha. There's Karen Barnett. Kristen, who took care of the writing center for quite some time and is now retired from that position. And Angela Strong. So it's our live stream. So she came out and taught. There's Sherry Langton over there. We love Sherry. Yeah. I didn't think they wanted to just look at the face.
Yeah, my family's watching, so.
Oh.
Please don't let it. Please.
Breslin. Say hello to the live stream, guys. It's Lynn Hartke. She taught some classes for us this year also. And Alice Kreider. She'll be emceeing tonight. I'm taking the live streamers for a walk. It's the live stream. I thought I would take them for a walk so they didn't have to just wait while we got treats. All right, guys. I want my dessert too, so I'll be setting you up now.
Yeah, good.
I wish I had that tripod.
There's a couple of an extra one.
Oh, excellent. Oh, cool.
It's great to get home. Yeah, so we're gonna get started here in just a minute, so don't take the skirt. Yeah, we can sure we can. This is like, let's care for this studio.
Entertaining the live stream. Oh.
Hi, live stream people. We're about to start, I promise. You probably had your desserts earlier than us because you had to supply your own. But there you go. Thank you for your patience.
I have screen, right? So maybe there's a way to grip it in or something. I've never, I mean, you bought one. Obsidian, you bought one for phones when Luke was doing this. But
Well, we got a lot of things stolen.
really,
Wonder if we could, if it'll just sit.
yeah, this can be tightened up. So
This is a lesson. It takes 3 people
I don't think that's gonna
to
work.
set up a
Let's see.
tripod for a phone.
Let's see.
I wonder
Maybe not.
is there directions in my box that might tell me if you can do it on a phone? Are there directions in there? Does it show?
You're gonna make the live stream nauseous.
Oh, there.
Hold them still.
Oh, I'm sorry. See, you can,
That's what I was telling you.
no directions. All right, let's try this. Here, I'll hold it. You tighten it up. Tighten it up. You can't do long ways, huh?
I think we, how was that?
Yeah, but it's gonna fall. I wish I had something.
Oh, let's put this napkin in here.
Well, that
We are super high tech, y'all.
put somebody's name tag around it.
It'd be a good show. Hang in there with it.
There we go. Well, I don't know if that's gonna be tight enough.
Serious MacGyver.
He's way better than we are.
That's not bad.
I know. I'm afraid the gravity will go
I
that way.
don't know. I think
Think it'll be okay? I don't want your phone to go nuts either. Oh, there.
put my glasses on so I can see if we're, oh, that's way
Oh,
off.
wait, we can tighten this thing, remember?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't think about that. That's my room key.
What you really need to see, guys, is the whole MacGyver thing we got going here.
Is that tight?
I hope you can hear better with the phone because this was quite the event. So, okay, somebody check Facebook and see if they're saying it sounds better. Or if they're saying the director is saying it should get it.
I think they're saying that fire.
Do you consider live streaming for a long time? Yes. Yeah, but not on the camera.
Hello. Hello, lovely finalists and families and opportunities. What could this closer? Yeah, yep. Probably should have tested it before. I don't want to lose over there. Okay, perfect. Welcome and thank you for all for coming. And for those of you still getting your desserts, please just continue in the line to get your desserts and make your way back to your seats as you are able. If when you in the middle of anything, if you feel like you just need another napkin, well, they might all be gone. I don't know. But if you feel like you need one, you're welcome to get up and go get another dessert during the program tonight. I actually want to open us in prayer. Oh, I have somebody waving my hands back, their hands back there by the desserts. I don't have my phone up here. All right. So I'm going to open us in prayer. I know we've already had at least one prayer tonight, but we can never have too much prayer, too much time speaking to our Heavenly Father. Heavenly Father, I just thank you for this night, this wonderful celebration of writers who write for your glory, who write to share your love and your truth and your wisdom and your grace. And I just thank you for the patience of everyone in this room as we waited for desserts to arrive. And thank you for the band who led us in such beautiful worship tonight, Lord. And I just pray that you would be glorified in all that we say and do throughout this wonderful evening. To you be glory in the precious name of Jesus. Amen. I'm going to get shuffled. Sorry.
Anybody have a stand-up routine in the meantime?
Yeah. Just a little bit. You're good. You're good.
Don't want to be losing it. All right. Okay, now we're really going to get this party started. All right. So the first thing I want to do is thank our judges. It was said earlier that this couldn't be done without me, but it couldn't be done without the 57 preliminary judges. And if you were a preliminary judge, would you please stand? And if you're in the back and you're not, would you definitely stand? So the preliminary judges helped determine that they did 753 score sheets. Wow. To determine who the finalists would be. And we're going to learn, well, we know who the finalists are because they're in your program. The winners are. And we determined winners by the wonderful work of the 31 finals judges, who are among them our agents and editors, some acquisitions editors, and we have one writing coach, and our lovely Julie Blank also served as a judge. And so if you were a finals judge, would you please stand? So thank you all, and I am delighted to say that the deadlines were missed by only one day, which was amazing. I could not believe it. So I was very happy though. So as far as contestants, there were 170 contestants with 251 entries. They came from 35 different states of the United States. We had one from Switzerland, who was actually a finalist, one from Jamaica, one from Australia, and two of the different Canadian provinces. I know there are more than two. So if you entered the contest but are not a finalist, I want to recognize you because it's a hard thing to send your work into a contest. And just by taking that step, you are winners. And I'm hoping that each one of you got some excellent feedback on your score sheets that will help you to improve your writing. So if you were a contestant that didn't final, would you please stand? So I know we have a number of those probably watching on the live stream too. Sorry we can't see you guys stand, but thank you. All right, I want to first go, well, obviously second, because I just talked about all that stuff. I want to go through a few logistics for how tonight is going to go. So we're going to talk about or call up the finalists. They will be called by the categories in the order that they are in your program. And they will also be listed on the slides. So we're going to go in the order that they show on the website and how they are in the program. Not necessarily, the people may not be the same order, and I'm going to chalk that up to Linda was doing this at 10 o'clock at night, putting the stickers on the outside of the envelopes that give us which order to go in, and I didn't pay attention to the order they were in the program when I did it. So you may not get your name called in the exact same order. There's no rhyme or reason except it was 10 o'clock at night and I was tired. So as I call, I'm going to be having a co-host, which you will meet in a moment. And we will be calling each of the finalists. You will come up this center stairs and your name is called. I will call your name and Alice Kreider will give you your certificate or vice versa. We're going to mix it up a little bit. And once you get your certificate, I'm just realizing there's not a lot of room up here we have a perfect spot for your picture, but it's right there. So there is right here, there's a sticker, a little piece of tape. You'll come up, get your certificate. Whoever handed it to you will step back to get out of the picture. And Julie Zander, the lovely Julie Zander, who also takes your final picture outside, your picture, will take a couple of three shots,
and one with this.
and one with her, just to be
Backup.
safe. Trust her fancy the camera. She will take those pictures of you, and then you will exit. You'll see an arrow on the ground over there, and go down. Do we have someone that's helping everybody down the stairs? So yes, we have someone over here who will help you make sure you don't trip down the stairs. And then go back to your seat. So the winners will be announced, and you will come up in the same fashion, but because I like to mix things up a little bit, I literally mixed up the order of the winners. You'll have to pay attention. The first winner will not be the previously published author in the contemporary fiction category. I'm not going to tell you yet what it is going to be, but I just thought the people who are always at the end, which is the fiction short story, shouldn't have to wait till the end. So I mixed them all up. The two published and unpublished in each category aren't even together. So you'll have to be paying attention. Just because I'm funny like that. So for those who are viewing online, and I know there are quite a few of you who said you were going to be viewing the live stream, we had some finalists and some winners. One person, actually the guy from Switzerland, is somewhere in Asia doing mission work. So he will not be able to be here, but there are some others who are not going to be able to, have not been able to attend. Your certificates will be mailed to you by the lovely Sue Michael, without whom this contest could not be done either. All right. I want to give you guys a little encouragement. Some of you are excited finalists, hoping you're going to be the winner, but of course, not everyone gets the winner certificate and the little winner pin. I forgot to put mine on from 2017. Oops, I brought it, I forgot to put it on. I guess it didn't match the outfit really. Anyway, not all of you are going to win, and as we noticed earlier, some of you entered and didn't final. And of course, there are those who just didn't quite get up the courage to even enter this year. You didn't have something right. So I want to encourage, and some of the stuff that I'm going to say will sound a little bit familiar, or at least be an echo of some of the things we heard from Amanda in her keynotes this week. So I want to start with one of my favorite verses, not my all-time favorite because that's John 14:6, and it always will be. But this is a close second or third, and that is 2 Timothy 1:7. And I love the New Living Translation version that says, God did not give us a spirit of timidity, but of power and of might and of self-control. So I was talking to someone at lunch one day, and she said, oh, I'm just afraid. I'm afraid to put my stuff out there. We should never, when we're speaking the truth from God in our writing, God did not give you that fear of publishing that work or submitting it to an agent or an editor or to a contest. That fear is not from God. He gave us a spirit of confidence in the ability to glorify Him through our words. So, be bold in sharing the gospel with what you write. So, my first writing contest experience, I know sometimes the scores you get back can be a little hard to take. Even you're a finalist, you might have two really high scores and one that was not quite as high, and you're wondering what's going on. Well, my first writing contest experience was actually with a different organization that was called Faith and Culture Writers Conference out in Newburgh. And I entered this great essay. I really poured my heart into it, and it was very vulnerable. It needed work because I was a newbie writer. I wrote like a lawyer. That was my big problem. That was really the problem with that essay, but it got to the vulnerable part that needed to be at the beginning. Eventually, it just didn't get there as quick as one of the judges. I got my 3 score sheets back. I got an 85, and I got an 89, and I got a 29. I almost quit. I said, I'm just not going to write anymore. It's not worth it. But a good friend of mine, her name was Ginger McHenry, some of you may know her, on the way home from the conference said, don't let that discourage you. Just keep writing. God has called you to write. Keep writing. And so I did. And that was in 10 years ago. Oh my God, goodness. Can't believe I'm doing this that long. So along comes Oregon Christian Writers. I found Oregon Christian Writers, and I entered my second year in an OCW contest or conference. I entered this contest with my unpublished memoir, at the time called My Name's Beloved, and it won. And I was so excited. I couldn't wait to find an agent, find an editor, get the thing published. That was 2017. It's not published yet. It's on its 3rd major rewrite. It wasn't really ready, other than those first 3 chapters. It's now completely written. I'm getting there. But I don't consider that delay to be a failure. In God's eyes, it's a success because in the interim, I've had articles published in Bible Advocate, the Christian Journal, Today's Christian Living, Fathom Magazine, Guideposts, A Chicken Soup for the Soul, and quite a few others. I've had poems published in anthologies, self-published 3 poetry books, and I've touched a lot of hearts through my writing. And so I was talking at well, I know she wasn't. She was there. I was there. She talked about how we need to not forget the article market. And so an article that I wrote for them is in 80,000 households and online. So there's other ways to have success, and through all of that, God has taught me patience, which I do not normally have. The baker, when she talked to me earlier tonight, she might understand that because I didn't sound very patient if the desserts were here. They're here now, though. They're delicious. So God used all of that and kept telling me the memoir is not quite ready. It's not quite ready. It's not time. You need to cultivate your writing skills more. And so I did that. So if you win tonight with your book and it doesn't immediately get published, take heart. That's not an indication that you are not a success in God's eyes. So last night, and I almost forgot this in my notes, but Amanda mentioned last night about Amazon star ratings. And I wanted to share with you one of my favorite things to do when I'm feeling discouraged. It's like, nobody wants to read my writing. I'm a terrible writer. Nobody cares. I go to Amazon. I look up my favorite books that I know is well written. And a lot of people love it, not just me, but it's a good book. And I read the 1-star rating. Like, not everybody likes everything, and that's okay, because it doesn't matter if we only have 1 star on something. It doesn't matter if we don't have any stars. As long as we're writing for God, really giving Him the glory in what we write. So I have a pillow at home on my chair in my bedroom that's a quote from Mother Teresa. God has not called me to be successful. He has called me to be faithful. So I want to just remind each, you were faith, those of you who submitted to the contest, that was a step of faith. Here's my writing, I'm going to put it out there for review, feedback to try to encourage it. And so remember that what God wants is that you are full with your writing. The success part is His business, it's not ours. So the last little story I want to tell you, I want to introduce you to someone that actually Amanda's story about the Velveteen Rabbit reminded me of. Hang on, I gotta grab. So some of you may be familiar with Ranger Bear. Ranger Bear is Karen Barnett's sidekick. I think, I think he might have more Instagram followers than she does. He does. So Bear has gone on vacation with me and my family a couple of times. He's been to Haleakala and met a true Hawaiian ranger. He's been to we did the Grand Circle tour in Utah. His picture taken, got to meet all sorts of rangers. The ones at Bryce Canyon said, wait, let us go back and get our hats before we get our picture taken. So, but while we were driving from one place to another, Ranger Bear had a friend along. So this is Calvin. This is my bear. My husband got in 1988. And I have never gone to an overnight anything without taking Calvin. So of course, Calvin was going along, and they are fast friends. I'm pretty sure they text each other when we're not listening. You know, the interesting thing about Calvin has no Instagram followers. He doesn't even have an Instagram account. But Calvin does not compare himself to Ranger Bear. He just loves Ranger Bear, and Ranger Bear loves Calvin, and they are friends, and they don't compare themselves to each other. Each is serving a role that God has on their life, their little bear lives. Calvin is to be a companion and go wherever I go and be a little pillow when I sleep. And he looks a little worn, like I'm pretty sure he's real because he is worn like the Velveteen Rabbit, and he's had to have his head sewed back on a couple of times. So anyway, this is Calvin, Ranger Bear. They're very good friends. So the last thing I will leave you with. Sorry, Ranger Bear. All right, so I'm going to finish with a poem which you will actually put on the last page of your program. It's a poem by Shel Silverstein. I just love this poem. It's called Listen to the Mussins. Listen to the mussins, child. Listen to the don'ts. Listen to the shouldn'ts, the impossibles, the won'ts. Listen to the never have. Listen close to me. Anything can happen, child. Anything can be. When we walk with God, when we write with God, anything can be. So that's it for, well, until we get to the certificates. I now want to introduce my co-host. And she's going to come up and give us a wisdom. She's an author, an editor, a writing coach, and my dear friend, Alice Kreider. Yeah. Obviously, I walk upstairs and downstairs. I'm only a little bit taller. All right. Well, thank you, Linda. It's great to see all of you here. So a lot of you might know that I am from Colorado. I actually grew up in Illinois, and my grandparents lived in Colorado, so we went to Colorado every summer. And I told my mom when I was probably in 6th grade, maybe, I told her I was going to be a writer and live in Colorado someday. And so there I am in Colorado as a writer, and editor, and coach. I've always loved books and the people who write them. So wherever you are in your writer's journey, I admire that you actually have the courage and skill and some passion to put words on page and actually share it with people. As an editor, I know that, I see a lot of kinds of writing, and I really admire anybody who's willing to put their heart out there, because I know it takes heart. So there's that. So living in Colorado, I learned to climb mountains when I was young. My uncle used to take me hiking all the time. And one time we climbed Long's Peak, which is one of the highest 14,000-foot peaks. And after that, I was like, wow, I'm going to do more of these. There are 52 14,000-foot peaks in Colorado, and I have climbed 16 of them. But every time I set out to climb a 14er, I think this could be so exciting. It's going to be great. The weather's going to be fantastic, and I'm going to get to the top, and the views up there are like better than being in an airplane, because you're still on the earth, which you can see over everything. And so I was really excited, kind of like starting out on a book project. It's like, oh, this is going to be great. It's going to turn out amazing. And then I get partway up the hill and I start getting out of breath because the oxygen gets pretty good in there. It's like, what was I thinking? Why did I set out on this journey? That might feel a little bit like writing a book. And then at one particular time, I was hiking with a friend, and we were getting close to and there was ice on the trail. And the trail kept getting narrower and narrower. And we thought, we're gonna be careful. So we decided to go a little bit off the trail and dodge the ice and the snow that was on the trail. And before we knew it, we were out on a skinny ledge, and there was a big drop off. And my friend sat down and she said, I can't believe we can't do this. And I sat down next to her and I'm like, oh dear, her father is my boss. He's going to kill me if she doesn't make it off this mountain. So we sat there and I said, I don't know how to get back up, because it was kind of getting steep, and looking at where we should be, we weren't even sure where the trail really was, but it was like, we need to get back up there somewhere. And I said, we need to pray, because we didn't ever got one wrong move, and we really could have tumbled off the edge of the mountain. And does it everybody feel like that sometimes? It's like, oh, I'm one wrong move, I'll never make it. I do anything. So we sat there and I said, we need to pray. We need help. Yeah. So we prayed, and within seconds, we heard a voice above us saying, do girls need some help? I'm like, yeah. And he said, hold on right there. We said, we can't move. And he said, don't move. I'll come down and get you one at a time. So he came down and said, get my friend first. Her father will kill me if I don't get her. So get her first. So he got her up there and then he came back and got me. And we were so far off the trail that had we not had help, we never would have gotten anywhere. So we ended up hiking with him all the way up to the top of the mountain. And then when we got up there, we were so excited about being on the top. We turned around to thank him for getting us there, and he was gone.
Wow.
So we were like, "Was he real?" So I like to share that story because sometimes when I'm editing or writing or even working on projects, give somebody some coaching, I talk to God all the time. Sometimes I sit in front of him and say, "God, I can't do my job without you." And the insights that he can give me is like being rescued off a mountain sometimes. If he shows up, he is so faithful. If I need an idea or I need some kind of wisdom, all I have to do is ask, and he pours it in. And so I just want to encourage all of you that if you're in a position where you might be at the very beginning where it's like, I'm so excited, I'm going for it, I'm going to do this, I'm going to get to the top, I'm going to get published, I'm going to win an award. And you have that excitement, it's great. That's what gets you started. But when the journey gets hard, or if you find yourself out on the limb and you're really not sure where to go, where to turn next, if you'll turn to him and ask him, what's next? Or what do I do? Where do I even look? He's so faithful, and I promise you, he'll be there with you. Or he'll send an angel. Thank you. Thank you, Alice. That was wonderful. What a great analogy. I've heard a little bit of that before, but I hadn't heard about the ledge story. That's a little crazy. So glad you made about the ledge. All right. What? Talk louder? No one has ever said that to me in my entire life.
These people.
Okay, so I'll talk louder for them, but for the live stream people apparently can't hear me. That's all right. I'll talk louder. All right, we are going to get started with the. Is that not what you said, Christina?
Oh, this is payback, isn't it?
It is.
What did you say?
No, that was great. That was great.
Oh, that was right. Okay, I'll talk louder. Anyway, we are going to get started for the part, well, the part you're really waiting for is the winners, but we're going to start with the finalists. So our first category for the finalist certificates is the contemporary fiction book, and we are going to start with the previously published authors. Now, for those who might be confused, none of these pieces are actually published, but these authors have previously had a contemporary fiction book published. And then we will get to the unpublished authors, and those are people who have not previously had a contemporary fiction book published. So I'm going to hand the certificates over to Alice and I. And again, when your name is called, you're going to come up the middle. If you know you're, in that category, you can start getting out of your chair now. You don't have to wait for me to actually call your name. People are like pointing down here like I can understand what they're talking about, and I don't.
Great.
I have to read their lips.
Everything is perfect.
It's perfect. Hey, I've never heard that very often either. My husband once in a while does that, but anyway. All right. So our first contemporary fiction book, previously published writer, The Bairn and the Bone Whisperers by Molly Jo Rushmeyer. And some people might not be here, so in which case we will send you your certificate later. But congratulations to Molly. Actually, maybe we should wait until we get all the way done with the previously published before everybody claps. We will be here till midnight, which, I don't want to be here till midnight. All right, the second Previously published writer, contemporary fiction book, The Moment of Surrender, Rachel D. Russell. And when you can clap, I will wait for her to come up. And then remember, after you get your certificate, turn and stand on the little square there, and you'll get your. All right. So the next, previously published writer, contemporary fiction, One Starlight Christmas, Jennifer Euler. No. Okay, now we're going to move on to the previously unpublished writers in the contemporary fiction book category. The Chain by Stephanie Bowling. Oh, yeah, if they're on the live stream, you don't want to think, you don't want them to think you don't like them. Would not, that would just be rude. Okay, unpublished writer, contemporary fiction book, number 2, Already in the Kudzu by Hannah Hood Sarah. I know she's not here. I remember her saying she couldn't make it. I think she's on the live stream watching. All right, unpublished writer, contemporary fiction book, number 3, Finding Ginny by Jen Dowdrill. And so contemporary fiction folks are all at home writing their next great novel. All right. Our next category is going to be historical fiction book. Our first previously published writer in the historical fiction book category, Longing to Be Seen, Leah's Story by Jackie Hoekstra. Our next finalist is The Light of Stars by Janelle Hovde. Apparently I'm getting a table all that with my sweaty water. Does not sound nice. All right, our third previously historical fiction, That Lonesome Whippoorwill by Sarah Loudon Thomas. All right, now we're on to previously unpublished writers. So historical fiction, we have Atomic Secrets, Janet W. Asbury. All right, and the next one, Blossoms in the Wind, Sonia M. Anderson. And our third finalist in the historical fiction unpublished writer, The Long Way Home by Megan Soja. All right, so the next category, there's a little bit of I'm doing speculative fiction and young adult. In the previously published writer category, we had a small number of entrants. And so the categories were combined, and we have 2 finalists. First is previously published writer, speculative fiction or young adult book is Mojave Rock by John Gilbert Wozniak. This supposed to give her the certificate, she says. Oh, John, hopefully you're not too tall. Get your picture taken. The second finalist in this category is Daughter of the Decoy King, Kristen Joy Wilkes. All right, now we're going to move on to unpublished writers in these two categories. So the unpublished writer for speculative fiction book, the first finalist is In Verse by Andra J. Loy, sorry. Oh, that was maybe all right. The second finalist in this category is The White Raven by Julia N. White. Okay, now we have the unpublished writer in the young adult book category. The first finalist is Under Pink Snow by Suzanne Young Cordato. And I remember that her twin sister Sonia Anderson was going to accept for her. I have a note to that effect. Oh, well, if you're going to get it to her, then we don't have to mail it. And, so. All right, so our second finalist in the young adult book, unpublished writer, Happy's Creek Road by Hannah Lucero. And our third finalist is, in the unpublished writer, young adult, is Echo of Secrets. And I'm going to get her name right this time, Andra J. Lloyd. Okay, I'm going to do one more set and then we're going to switch it up just to give you guys a little variety. Nobody wants to listen to me all the time. Not even my husband. Or my dog, who's deaf, so you can. All right, so we are going on to the nonfiction book category. Previously published writers. Our first entry is actually our contestant from Switzerland. Unstoppable. Identify your calling and make your God-given dreams a reality by David Ruhlman. Our second contestant or finalist in the nonfiction book category, Victory by Day, Peace by Night by Cheryl Dale Martyr. I didn't give her the certificate. Sorry. Forgetting that part. She'll probably be the same to me when it's switched. Get back at me. Oops. All right, and our last is Oasis Bible Study, Book 3, Pursuing Growth and Resilience by Diane Schnickels. The certificate is being accepted tonight by her friend Brenda Lesage, who also was editor on this project. Now to the unpublished writers in the nonfiction book category, we have Power 10 in 2 by Kimberly Solis. Our second finalist is The Gift of Living Water by Rhonda K. Bell. I didn't understand that. We can look at Kimberly. No. So you're Kimberly. Sorry, for some reason got you in there. I don't know why. It's right there. I got ahead of myself. All right, and our final finalist in the nonfiction book, Hot Stirring and Peacemaking Women of the Bible by Annette Marie Griffin. Who I'm pretty sure is watching live streams. We're going to switch it up now so you guys can hear Alice talk. That's such a lovely voice. Hope of my teachers. Okay, oh boy, one of my favorite categories is previously published writers in the memoir book category. So the first one is Even There by Joy Ellen. And the second one in this category of previously published writers in memoir book is They Walk My Bridge by Sharon Chase Hosley. The third one is Journeys from an African Town by Samuel Hall. Okay, so we'll move on to the unpublished writers of the memoir book. And we have, the first one is Ghetto Boy by Pamela Rosales. The next one in this category, memoir book, is I Thought They Would Bring Me Apples by Sherry Chidwick. And then the last one in the unpublished writers memoir book is The Bible Smoke by Dale R. Gibson. Do I give her these certificates? Okay. So the next category is the previously published writer of middle grade books. And our first contestant is Mystery Fair by Linda Borromeo. The second one in the middle grade book previously published is The Case of the Mysterious Pranks by Mark Wainwright. And the third middle grade book previously published writer is the book Fooey Kerflooey by Kristen Joy Wilk. Okay, and then we have unpublished writers in middle grade books. The first one is The Legend of the Chocolate Lily by Jamie L. Berry. The second one, an unpublished writer of Middle Grade Books, is Rebecca and Abby, Sisters of the Light, by Annette Marie Griffin. And the third one in this category is The Trinity Knot in Austin. So the next category is children's chapbook. We got a lot from unpublished, but not previously published. If you previously published in the children's chapter book category, you should enter next year so we can have some entries. Apparently, there's not a lot of people in the field. And if you're the only one, no competition. Okay, so we have unpublished writers in children's chapter books. The first one is Adventures with Charlie by Joy Ellen King. And the second one in this category is The Amazing Adventures of Octo the Curious Cat. And then the third one in this category, children's chapter books, unpublished, is Snucket McDuck and the Kiss of the Songbird, and Harley Rose print. All right, we're mixing it up again. We're moving on to the children's picture book. I love this category. My kid's 28, but I still love the children's picture book category. So, I guess I should give her the certificates. You think we've never done this before? Well, actually, Alice hasn't. I have, so I should remember that. All right. Previously published writers of children's picture books. Our first finalist is Who Gives the Moon Its Glow by Cheryl. Our second finalist in the children's picture book is The Lion's Den by Nicole Monroe. And our third finalist, previously published writer of children's picture book, The Gift Inside of Me by Becky Alexander. All right, we're moving on then to unpublished writers of children's picture books. And our first finalist is Hidden Adventures, To Play or Obey by Kenny L. Pearson. I know who you are, which is good. All right, our second finalist of unpublished writers in children's picture books is Bella's Red Ball by Helen Haberlin. And finally, I know I'm not supposed to say which ones I like best in terms of the title, but I just love this title. Unpublished writer, children's picture book, Grandma Piggy, I have a question, by Sherry B. Chidwick. All right, now we're on to a category after my own heart. You can all probably guess. It's the poetry category. In the previously published writers in the poetry category, our first finalist is Covered by Julie E. Kepler. Our second finalist in the previously published writer of poetry category is Grief Like Rain by Patricia Tiffany Morris. And our third finalist is Maker's Mark by L. Suzanne Belton. Right, moving on to previously unpublished writers in the poetry categories, we have The Redeemer's Embrace by Annette Marie Griffin. Our second finalist is Fisherman's Rest by Sharon E. Fisher. And finally, our third unpublished writer finalist in poetry is I Am by Jill R. Stanton. Usually, most of the poets are home writing poetry. All right, we're moving on to the the devotional category, which technically should be the devotion category because it's a devotion if it's one and it's a devotional if it's a book. Only us writers even care. Details. Forgot to ask her. It's historically, we've always called it that. It's a single devotion. In the previously published writer category of devotional, our first finalist is The Owner's Manual by Denise E. Arzoya. Our second finalist is Faith, Hope, and Charity by Yvonne E. Cage. And our third finalist, previously published writer in the devotional category, is Shirley Firing Mosina. All right, moving on to the previously unpublished writers of devotions. John's 3:16 by Anne Boyce. Our second unpublished writer of devotionals, Chickens and God's Purpose, Sandra Beck. A little square, just a tiny little, I asked for an X, but we didn't get an X, we got a square, but it works. All right, and the last unpublished writer in the devotional category, finalist is Coupons by Grace A. Kaiser. Yeah, I like that category. All of them were here. How awesome is that? I think that's our first category. It's the only empty envelope. We have two more categories, and then we get to get on to the winners. I know you guys just can't wait. All right, this is the article, column, nonfiction short story category. In the previously published writers group, our first finalist is Jesus People Forever by Debbie Duke. Our second finalist is When Grandma Washed My Hands by Kathleen R. Ruffman. Okay, Kathleen, where is she? Oh, there she is. Okay, she's coming. Coming. I can see that she's light. And our third finalist, previously published writers of article, column, and nonfiction short story, Strangers in the Church by Virginia Wilcox. All right, moving on to unpublished writers, article, column, nonfiction short story. It was supposed to last a lifetime. Release and recovery from adult-child estrangement by Lisa Baldwin. Our second finalist, unpublished writer, article, column, nonfiction short story, I'll Be Around by Amy P. Schoen. And our third finalist in this category is Colossal Cross by Sandra Beck. Right, last cat, you want to read this one? We're going to switch off to Alice again. Got my own certificates out of the envelope.
Okay, final categories are previously published writers of fiction, short story, including flash fiction. And the first one is Pumpkin Pie Delight by Jennifer Ann F. Fessing. And you can say that because you're number two also. So the second person in the previously published writer of fiction, short story, and flash fiction is Silver Bay Getaway by Jennifer Ann F. Fessing. The third one in this category is Lost at Glacier by Jennifer Noel Wilson. And then our very last category is unpublished writers of fiction, short story, including flash fiction. The first one in this category is Casa Mia in Asbury Park by Richard Taylor. Yep. The second one, surprise, is First There Was Joy by Richard Taylor. And last but not least, we've got Far From Home by Fiona Ruth Spence. Please let me have the microphone for a second. So, as Linda said earlier, in case you didn't hear it and you weren't listening, we're going to announce the winners in a random order of categories. So you have to be paying attention to the category that we'll announce first, and then we'll announce the winner. So the first category we have is unpublished writers in young adult books. And the winner is, oh, I'm breaking the seal. I'm the better speaking. Always wondered if that outcomes. Oh, and we are going to read the first line of the book. So again, this is unpublished writer of young adult books. First line is, the day my mother died, I stole a secret. Echo of Secrets by Andrew J. Lloyd. Our next category is unpublished writers of children's picture books. I think we should have a drum roll. Piggy, Peggy, Peggy, Piggy. When I was little, they did the same. Grandma Piggy, I have a question, by Sherry B. Chidwick. Okay, the next category is unpublished writers of contemporary fiction books. The winner is, he had perhaps the saddest eyes she'd ever seen. The Chain by Stephanie Bowman. Poetry, so it's my turn. Right, so this is previously published writers of poetry. Always tricky us once deciding how much, first sentence of a book is easy, but how much of a poem do you read? Your first syllable. Worry, like hawk, stalks my thoughts. Covered by Julie E. Kepler. All right, next category is unpublished writer of a nonfiction book. Although the term pot stirring doesn't technically appear in Scripture, the concept certainly does. Pot Stirring and Peacemaking Women of the Bible by Annette Marie Griffin. All right, the next is previously published writer of an article, column, or nonfiction short story. Does it make it more suspenseful that they're random? More fun for me that way. It is really. No, not. It's all about God, actually. And you guys, all of the finalists, and all of the winners, and all of the writers that are here. Didn't you listen to my speech earlier? All right.
Okay, previously published writer, article, column, nonfiction, short story. A new girl moved into my neighborhood, and I wanted to be just like her. Jesus People Forever by Debbie Duke. I'm going to do 3 more, and then I'm going to switch it over to Alice. I don't know why 3. You like the number 3, though, you know. It's a good number. I wonder if that's why we do 3 finalists, because 3 is such a great number. The Trinity, yeah. Anyway, I'm just stalling to make you all nervous. It's my favorite part of the whole evening. Stalling. You're not sure when you're getting your name called, or even your category. All right. Previously published writer, fiction, short story, including flash fiction. Juliet beamed with delight as she and her husband parked their minivan in the short driveway of the cozy, rustic yurt. Silver Bay Getaway by Jennifer Ann F. All right, and the next winner is in the previously published writer historical fiction category. Wonder who it is. Oh, wait, I already know who they are. It has really been weird knowing all and not being able to tell you all until now. Yet I'm stalling again. You know. All right. Previously published writer, historical fiction. Whit strummed his guitar and stared out the window as the mailman slid anonymous envelopes into the battered white box at the end of the driveway. That Lonesome Whippoorwill by Sarah Loudon Thomas. Now we just switched it again so I could do. Oh, doing the devotional. All right. Previously published writer of a devotional. So did you get enough desserts? All right. Previously published writer devotional. The frost on the windshield was a reminder that winter was near. The Owner's Manual by Denise E. Arzoyan. Okay, our next category is unpublished writers of poetry. Zach was away from Linda. I want him to do this one. So I might stall for a little while to keep forgetting stuff. Here he is. All right, unpublished writer of poetry. Entranced by a melody sung by the night, a restless young maiden felt torn. Redeemers of Grace by Annette Marie Griffith. The next one is unpublished writers of children's chapter books. And it says winner right on here, so I keep wanting to read it. Unpublished writer, children's chapter book. Waddle, 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 waddle.
through the halls of Thompson House strode the noble, the brave, the hard-working Snucket McDuck. Snucket McDuck in the case of the snapper by Harley Road Superintendent. That one for my grandkids. And the next one is unpublished writer, middle grade books. Unpublished writer, middle grade book. Brother Finian wiped his streaming eyes with his coarse brown sleeve. The Trinity Knot by Debbie Austin. My favorite category again, memoir book, unpublished writers of memoirs. Memoir book. January 25, 1980 was my 28th birthday. My day would not include Vienna's famous something, soccer scores, a chocolate cake, and ice cream. The Bible Smuggler by Dale R. Gibson. Now we're back to unpublished writers of devotional. Here we are, really. Okay. I'm surprised. Okay, unpublished writer devotional. Each time I climb our attic stairs, I see a simple activities coupon booklet my 10-year-old granddaughter made for me. Coupons by Grace A. Kaiser. The next category is previously published writer nonfiction book. Previously published writer nonfiction book. Goal: understand narcissism and its impact on how you think. Oasis Bible Study, Book 3, Pursuing Growth and Resilience by Diana Stickles. This is being accepted by Diane's friend, Brenda Research, and her editor, yes. Good job. Okay, more children's picture books by previously published writers. Okay, previously published writers, children's picture book. God placed a special secret gift somewhere inside of me. The Gift Inside of Me by Becky Alexander. Okay, then we have unpublished writers of fiction short stories, including flash fiction. Flash this open. Okay, unpublished writer, fiction short story. Miriam's husband stepped off the dirt road into the scraggy woods, looking for a place they could spend the night. Far from Home by Fiona Ruth Spence. want to do previously published memoir. Okay, previously published memoir, or writer of memoir. Previously published writer, memoir book. The twin engine Hawker Siddeley 748 began its descent, gradually bringing Florida definition to the landscape below. Journeys from an African Town by Samuel Paul.
All right, so our next category, randomly, is previously published writer in the speculative fiction young adult book category. Previously published writer, speculative fiction young adult. I should be standing before you today with no knowledge of ziggurats or Jonah or ancient Assyrian thieves warfare. Daughter of the Decoy King by Kristen Joy Wilk. Our next category is unpublished writer of historical fiction book. Patience Abbott was certain her parents had erred in naming her A Long Way Home by Megan Socha. All right, the next is previously published writer, middle grade book. Previously published writer, middle grade book. Marcus bolted past the rampaging squirrel looking for his little brother. Fluey per Fluey by Kristen Joy Wilk. Hey, there's 3 winners left. Actually, I got a little surprise at the end, but there's 3 official winners left. All right. That's called foreshadowing. Like, I know nothing about fiction writing, but I think I picked that up somewhere along the way. All right. Previously published writer, contemporary fiction book. You thought you were going to be first originally, but this is the last, almost the last. That's the fun of random. All right. Previously published writer, contemporary fiction book. Grief, the acquaintance who stayed too long. The Baron and the Bone Whisperers by Molly Jo Brushmeyer. All right, we have unpublished writer of a speculative fiction book. Stuck. Ironic, considering he was supposed to be one of the rescuers. Inverse by Andra J. Lloyd. And the last, but certainly not least category, unpublished writer of an article, column, or nonfiction short story. unpublished writer, article, column, nonfiction, short story. This is a story I never envisioned writing. It was supposed to last a lifetime. Release and recovery from adult-child estrangement. All right, so I have 2 extra prizes. I thought it would be fun. You know, I can't just do things the way it's always been done. I gotta mix things up. I calculated the highest average score with taking all 5 scores, the 3 preliminary and the 2 final scores of all finalists, and determined the highest score in the published category, previously published authors, and then of previously unpublished authors. And I got them each a journal, and the inside the journal, I should open it out of the envelope so I can make sure I read the name right. So the first is for the previously published author across all categories with the highest average score. And the winner this year in this brand new category is Julie E. Kepper. And no, I didn't rig it that the poetry person would win. The numbers, I just ran math. All right, then we have in the previously unpublished writer group, plus I stuck a little winner sticker in the front. So I put their name and the reason they got this and today's date in front of each one. So the winner of the highest average score for previously unpublished writers is Debbie Austin. I understand Debbie. So Debbie is in Montana, and I know she isn't here to guest this. What? But she is on live stream. I knew she was going to be on live stream. So this will go in the mail to Debbie. For having the highest average score, which is Infinity Knot, which what a great title for, that was the middle grade, right? Sorry, there's a lot of names in there. Yeah. Anyway, so congratulations to her, and we will be sending her this lovely journal, which actually says, it's a great verse on the front too, for all of you. Be strong and courageous, do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. So I want to thank you all for sitting through my shenanigans and, stalling techniques and all of that. If there's still, I can't see if there's desserts back there still. If there are, enjoy a few more desserts. If there's not, darn, I missed out. I only got 2 little ones. You say to me, son? Joyce is awesome.
Joyce is awesome.
Before we leave, though, I know there's a bunch of volunteers that helped with the lovely services and people I didn't name in the back of the program, but thank you to everyone who made this possible. I could not do this without all of the help of various factions or people within OCW. OCW people have such great hearts. And thank you to, or thank you, I was going to say congratulations to all the winners, to the finalists just for being finalists, and to those who entered but didn't final for having the courage to enter. And you all have a wonderful night and the rest of your customer, and I guess we're done. I have a hard time giving up on mine. Somebody made
Finish this off before I talk. Yeah, it stayed.